want to tell you a joke. There was this man that had a son, and his son was at driving age of 16. And he asked his dad, he said, Dad, I'd really like to get my license. All my friends have their licenses. And his dad said, son, you can get your license as long as you bring your grades up and you cut your hair. Now that boy had a choice. If he did those things, his dad would give him a license and let him get his license. And so the boy brings his grades up a month later, and he comes to his dad. He said, Dad, he said, I've got my grades up. I'd like to get my license. And his dad says, son, but you haven't cut your hair. And he said to his dad, he said, Dad, he said, Jesus had long hair. Samson had long hair. Moses had long hair. And his dad said, yes, son, they really did, but they walked everywhere they went to. We have the power. If you got a house, when you walk in your house and it's dark, what's the first thing you do? You turn on a light switch. Now, the electric company has run power to your house. You have a choice whether to turn that power on or turn that power off. You flip that switch and the power comes on. The power is there all the time. You turn the switch, it lights up. We serve a loving God that gives us a choice in our lives, whether to serve him or whether not to serve him. Jesus said we would do greater things in John 14. Now, Pastor Ed, when he was young, he had a choice to serve the Lord or not to serve the Lord, to go into ministry or not go into the ministry. Thankfully, he chose to go into the ministry. Our worship pastor, Dave Dawes, he had a choice to do ministry. For his love of the Lord, he chose to do ministry, but he could have chose not to do the ministry. Jesus had a choice. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he was praying in sweat and blood, which is an amazing thing. There was so much anxiety. And if you remember, he said, Father, if this cup could pass, but he said, not my will. He says, your will be done. So Jesus chose, thankfully, he chose to go to the cross and die for us. Jesus has the power to forgive sins. We have a choice also to accept or reject Jesus Christ. If we accept Jesus Christ, we go to heaven and we spend eternity with him. If we reject him, then we go to the opposite place. It was really amazing to me, what Jesus did, everything he went through. I remember when he was before Pilate, he didn't even talk much. He didn't say too much. They put a crown of thorns on his head. They were mocking Jesus. I mean, Jesus, talks about, he could have called 10,000 angels to come help him. And Jesus didn't call them because he wanted to make a choice. The reason why Jesus Christ, and then they put Jesus on the cross, they hammered nails in him and hung him up there, and he was beaten and whipped. And I mean, my gosh, like I said, once again, he could have called 10,000 angels, but Jesus didn't call 10,000 angels because of his love for you and me. Today, during communion service, let's just go ahead and remember what Jesus did on the cross. As we go through our daily lives, and I've said this before, we get busy in our lives and we forget about, maybe spending time with Jesus. It's a 24/7, and we need to make sure that we spend all day with Jesus, just talking to him all day long and have a spirit of fellowship with Jesus all day long. So just remember today what Jesus did on the cross. And, you see pictures of the crucifixion and, there's Jesus, no blood on him or nothing. It wasn't like that. And you just remember what he went through and what he did, and what he could have done. But he made a choice to follow him or follow what God said. And so let's make a choice to follow Jesus and serve him, spend time with him, know Jesus' voice, know the Lord's voice. And that's so important. Thank you very much. You have a great day. Bye.